Hey, what's up? My name is John Bonjour. I am a comic artist and film enthusiast. I have drawn some art and I would like to enthuse about some film. Today we're talking about Kraven the Hunter, and more important than any of that, I have ascended to a new realm. I'm in a park. I'm in a park because there's stuff being done to my apartment, so I'm in a park. I feel like this is more about Kraven. Kraven the Hunter has ascended me to a new plane of existence, and that is an outside boy. There's kind of three parts to this video. The first is a non-spoiler review of the movie. Part 1A, I guess maybe part 2, is going to be a spoiler discussion of a couple of things throughout the movie. And then part 3 is a hopeful ending. That's sort of what I'm going for here. A farewell to the SPUMC as we know him. First and foremost, Kraven the Hunter, starring Aaron Taylor Johnson, directed by J.C. Chandor, can't believe I pulled that name without Googling it, is a movie. It's one of the Sony Spider-Man movies, and just as a film, it is bad. This is not surprising to anybody. To me, I think it's better than a lot of the other SPUMC movies that we've gotten so far, which is not saying a lot, to be fair. Venom 1 and 2 are probably better than this just as movies, but I think, I don't know, my wife, Darcy, said that this is her favorite one that she's seen. Does that have to do with the unquenchable bloodlust that I created in her by making her watch slasher movies? Maybe. It's tough to say. It's like hard to know. It's that, but I can't even fault her for that. This is one of the more entertaining of the movies. I think it is bad in fun ways, which is not true of all of these movies. Like Morbius is not bad in fun ways. Morbius is just bad. It's just a straight bad movie. Aaron Taylor Johnson is good. He's a solid Kraven. Again, Darcy's really bringing it this video. She keeps calling him Tiny Kraven. It's the best goof she's done so far. She will die on the hill on Kraven needs to be, you know, like an Alan Ritchson-sized guy, like a huge man. So Aaron Taylor Johnson just was not cutting the mustard for her, so she keeps calling him Tiny Kraven, and it kills me every time. He does well. He's a good actor. He's solid enough. I have no problems with his portrayal. The writing sucks ass. But again, it's like a Sony Spider-Man-less Spider-Man movie. Of course, it's going to be poorly written. Like, you just kind of expect that. Also, if you look at the history of the writers that they've gotten up to now, are we shocked that the writers of, say, Gods of Egypt didn't make a great, well-written script? It feels like a Gods of Egypt. It feels like a Netflix movie. It feels a lot like Red One that just came out. I just watched it. I'm not making a video on that movie. It's not good enough or bad enough to talk about. Anyway, we're talking about Kraven right now. I'm trying to think what I can say without spoiling anything. Russell Crowe's having a great time. I love that. He is just feeling this movie. He's got his little accent going. Sometimes it's better than others. Yeah, like the acting was not a problem in this movie. For the main characters, just to be clear. There are some line deliveries that are some of the worst we've seen in a big budget motion picture. Other things. Rhino. The Rhino's in this. This is not surprising. He's in the trailers. What is surprising is that his whole thing is just that he's a man with a skin condition. I guess this is a spoiler. I guess we're doing spoilers now. The whole thing with the Rhino is that he's the guy with the skin condition and a backpack that keeps the skin condition from happening. And the skin condition is that he turns into a full-blown, God's honest rhinoceros man, which is hilarious inherently. There's also a beautiful little moment where he's really mad because I think he lost Kraven or something like that, and he like leans against a desk and does this little silent scream that is the funniest thing. It's the funniest thing I've seen this year, for sure. While we're on the Rhino, I feel like that is the biggest spoiler I can really talk about. He's the worst. He's worse than the Paul Giamatti Rhino, who, granted, I never had a huge problem with, because it's like if you're gonna adapt the Rhino and you don't want to do the Rhinoceros Man, sure, put him in a big metal suit, whatever. It fits the Amazing Spider-Man universe. I think people were just so upset about the other villains that they put in that. Green Goblin. Shitty Green Goblin. I think if we had just gotten Paul Giamatti's Rhino in a big mechanical suit, nobody would have been that mad. It's not that big a deal. It is better than this. He looks like a Power Rangers villain. He's awful. Like, I understand and I appreciate that they were going for big CGI man. I stand by that. That's probably what the Rhino should be if you're going to make a comic accurate Rhino. However, he's so little in this. It's Tiny Kraven, it's Tiny Rhino, they're all tiny. I don't know why he looks like he should be a practical effect. That was my problem. If you're gonna make a human-sized character, don't do him in CGI. If you could just do like a Hellboy suit or whatever, make him practical. Sure, that actually would have been hilarious. Just some of the worst CGI we've ever seen, which is hilarious because other CGI in this movie is not bad. If you're talking about the animals in the film, if you're talking about the lion, honestly, 90% of the CGI in this movie is very successful. I can only assume that stuff they reshot for whatever reason is probably the stuff that's bad because it was done quickly and cheaply, I assume. I'm cashing in a generous assumption on this that they were under the gun and had to make it happen, because otherwise, if this is what they really thought was good, I don't even know what to say. And I guess that leads me into part 3. Oh, wait, hold on. There's a great moment. I forgot to say this. Whole movie, Kraven is upset that his dad killed the lion that saved his life because he was hunting, and the lion attacked him because his dad shot him, and somebody put a magic potion. Oh, yeah, she's in this. Oh, what is her name? She's got a comic book name. I don't remember. Cersei? No, that's not it. Silk? No. It's not going to come to me. Anyway, Magic Witch Lady, she put a potion in Kraven. She potioned up Kraven, and the lion's blood mixed with his blood. Not sure which parts of that are important in terms of giving him superpowers, but doesn't matter. Who cares? Anyway, he's mad that his dad killed the lion and mounted his head and whatever. And then at the end of the movie, his brother, Chameleon, which is not a surprise if you know the comics that he is Chameleon. What is a surprise is that they went for a tiny chameleon. It's all tiny. This whole movie is tiny. I love it. But the tiny chameleon. And they went for his CGI, like, full face, the white with the line down the middle, comic accurate costume. A little late in the game, but hey, you know what? I actually appreciate that they went for that. That is a huge positive note. He goes back to his house. He sees that his dad took the lion that he killed, that he's been upset about him for his entire life. He took the lion and he made it a vest. And Kraven, instead of being like, this guy, this sucks, this is the worst, why would you do that? It's even more disrespectful to the thing that you did. He's like, cool, this is comic accurate, we should put this on, this makes sense, this is exactly what we want. Which is ridiculous, because if I was pissed off at my dad for doing something for my entire life, and then he was like, hey, guess what, I made it pants now, I wouldn't be like, sick, I'm wearing it, perfect, that's great. Anyway, that's not really the point of this. The action scenes are fine. I forgot to say that. This is just real jumbled, huh? This is just a real jumbled review. We're working with it. I'm in a park and I'm embarrassing myself in public talking about Kraven the Hunter. What do you want from me? The action sequences are fine, mostly. Pretty well done. Kraven is Russia's bounciest British American, so it's like his powers are very nondescript. I think I think Nando V Movies probably said this. I heard somebody say, it'd be better if we kind of saw what animal superpower he was using and why and how. I think that it would have even been better if we made it just more like DC's Animal Man, where he just like adopts the powers of whatever animal is close to him. Would that be Kraven the Hunter? No. But this also isn't Kraven the Hunter, so like, what are we gonna do? Movie itself, the writing is terrible. The script is bad. The story is extremely bad. There are things that just make literally no sense. They just drop random characters in, like the foreigner guy who he couldn't make less sense. Like, he doesn't fit in the movie. They give no explanation for why he can do that stupid little thing he does where he counts to 3 and then kills people. And I guess there's an argument for no explanation necessary. This is a weird world where lion blood makes you a Superman. But, like, I could have used a little bit of background on that. I was wondering if this is in the Amazing Spider-Man universe like I was. It's not, because it's a new Rhino. Or it is, and there's 2 rhinos just running around, which is really funny, actually. I hope it's that. I can't wait for Rhino v. Rhino, Dawn of Justice. That'll break the box office. I think that's all I have to say about this movie. I don't know. We're probably going to do it for my podcast, MPRPH, the Motion Picture Retribution Power Hour. If you have not listened to that podcast, it's me and my 2 best buds, and we just make each other watch bad movies. It's a great time. Go check that out. Otherwise, part 3 of this video, this is going to be a long one. I'm just powering through. Part 3 of this video, a farewell to the SPUMC as we know it. It has been recently announced that they are putting a pause on doing these dog shit movies that no one asked for and were probably a bad idea, which I can't imagine why. I'm of 2 minds on this, because half of me would like to say goodbye and fuck off. Like, I'm perfectly happy to never see another one of these movies again, because literally none of them have been good. They've been funny bad or regular bad. Those are the 2 options that we have. So like, I'm not totally crushed to see these go, in the sense that hopefully they will start making, I don't know, Spider-Man movies or Spider-Man related movies with a spider character in them, not just in future flash forwards. My hope is that these are their kind of reality check, because Spider-Man is a solid IP that is only getting better in the regards of Spider-Verse and introducing Spider-Man Noir and 2099 and Penny Parker and Spider-Gwen, all of these characters. All of them are great and in different ways and could be used to make a really cool live-action, like, Spider-Verse kind of thing. Not like a live-action Spider-Verse, but a live-action universe of spider characters. There is the other side of me, though, that is just gonna be really sad to not clown on these movies twice a year. I connect with friends over how bad these movies are and how bad it is that they keep making them. I have talked with my sister Jamie for probably, if you put it all together, at least a solid week straight about how bad and ridiculous these movies are and what we would do if we were gonna do them differently. So it's like, I'm gonna miss that. This is the end of an era. It is also, I will say, somewhat encouraging as a creative person myself. I have a comic book, Edge of Bordertown, on my website if you haven't read it. It's free. I don't know if I said that. This comic book, and it's encouraging to me to see that even really, really just full-blown, stone-cold, graveyard-dead, stupid ideas can get made into movies. So if that can get made into a movie, why not Bordertown? You know, it's like, I just want Sony, well, I don't want Sony, I do not want Sony. I do not want Sony to make my Bordertown movie. If this can get made into a movie, if the script for Madam Web can be looked over and go, yeah, why not? Let's greenlight that and put up several $1 million behind it. That's encouraging to me, just as a creative. There is still hope for me yet. But at the end of the day, I really am gonna miss just how stupid these movies are. I hold a special place in my heart for the poor decision-making skills that lead to something like a Kraven the Hunter, or a Madam Web, or that Hypno Hustler movie they talked about for a little bit. And I understand that making movies is hard. I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm not saying that they should have just, obviously, of course, just make a good Kraven movie. What I'm saying is there are so many points before you get to filming where you can go, hey, we shouldn't do this, because why would we do this? And I just love that we have, 6 movies that made it past that process, each of which, individually, for separate, bespoke reasons, shouldn't have been. I'm gonna miss you, SPUMC. It's been a wild ride. I hope what Sony chooses to do with the Spider-Man IP from here on out is actually good. But man, if they choose to make more movies like this, I'm first in line. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Did you like Kraven the Hunter? Would you watch it again? I will be buying it on 4K, guaranteed. You know that's true. Hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And what do you hope they do with the Spider-Man franchise after this? Like, what do you hope they do with the Spider-Man IP? Thank you so much for watching this video and checking out my channel. If you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on movies, comics, TV shows, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and comment down below what you'd like me to review next, or do none of that because I am not your dad. I can't believe I did this in a park. I also can't believe absolutely no one came to see what I was doing. I saw a lot of people walking past just giving me that little like, so it's like, it's shocking to me. Shocking that no one has asked.